It's Friday, puck time. I'm the Prez. The kids are with me today, babysitting. Andrew McInnis, Alex Badass Smith. Last puck time for me for a week. Alex will be hosting all of next week, guys. So make sure to tune in. Boys, how are you? It's a great day to be a Blue Jacket fan. Andrew, I go to you first.
Yeah, life's really good for me right now, Prez. Besides that, I'll tell you. Played basketball yesterday, had a really good game, had some good bets yesterday. Everything was overall great, and then the day kind of ended on a rough note with that game. They didn't even just win by a small margin. They stomped on our throats. Good news is there's still lots of time left, but I will say that was frustrating. You know what my second favorite team now is definitely going to be? Any team playing Columbus. That's about all I really have to say about that.
Yeah, no, I get that, dude. Will that include the team playing Columbus in the playoffs?
We'll see. We'll see.
Alex Badass Smith, how are you? I got so much to talk about, but let's go with how the hell are you?
I'm doing great. I won all of my bets yesterday. I had Detroit. They cashed in overtime after blowing two separate leads. Hoops was awesome for me. I had sushi for dinner last night, so everything yesterday was pretty cool. So,
I don't understand how anybody could eat sushi for dinner. It makes no sense to me. It's like bowls of rice. Like, how many are you supposed to actually eat?
I mean, it depends on what so I order a spider roll, which usually comes like 8 pieces.
Yeah,
and that's soft shell crab, and then you get other sides along with it too. Like I get yakitori, which is like chicken skewers. I had a bunch of those. I had kushiyaki, which is like the beef skewers.
So you didn't have sushi for
homemade
dinner last night. You had Japanese for dinner last night. You racist bastard! What do you think? Everything Japanese is sushi?
No,
I had chicken teriyaki last night, otherwise known as sushi.
I had yakitori and kushiyaki for appetizer, and that sushi is my main course.
Okay. Can you guys figure out a way where your heads are a little level? Like, Andrew, you're too low. Alex, you're too high. Whoa, no, whoa. Okay, so now you've both swapped. Hey, there you go. Whoa, beautiful. No red cards for you.
I don't want my sponsorship Under Armour to get too noticed, but
Under Armour sponsors you for doing nothing.
I'm still waiting for my Coca-Cola sponsorship, so
yeah, you'll be waiting a long time for that. He's Alex, he's Andrew, I'm the Prez. It's puck time, and guys, we had a monster of a night last night over at WagerTalk.com. I lost my NHL play. I had the under in the Habs game, but the Habs lost, so all is good. But I did go 4-1 in my betting. I won my first baseball play, and you want to talk about a sweat? I almost said to the team, dude, I had 1 run to spare. Top of the 9th, bases loaded, 2 out, and we got him on the 12th pitch.
Wow.
6 months of sweating coming up in baseball. I won my 2 college basketball plays last night. I was on the under in the Michigan game. The hell happened to Michigan last? 16 points in the first half.
That game was an absolute mess.
Do you understand there were a couple of hockey games this year that had more than 16 points?
Pretty much, yeah. It was brutal. I think they went 0 for 14 for the threes. I think they only got 1 3 the rest of the whole night.
Yeah, well, now they're sleeping, so good riddance, yeah. Michigan. Had the under in the Michigan game, and I had Oregon last night. I had a big night, guys, and Marco D'Angelo.
Yep.
9-1 in college hoops since the madness begun. Came into last night, had Gonzaga as a 5-unit play, cashed it. The dude is on a 10-1 college basketball run. It is ridiculous.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, shall we get into it? Because we've got lots to talk about.
Let's do it.
Let's start with the Blues and the Rangers. Alex, we'll go to you first. And while you're talking, I got to open my front door, so I'm going to disappear. Okay. St. Louis, they've won their last 4 games in a row, including a 7 spot against Edmonton, a 5 against Detroit, a 4 against Tampa Bay, a 3 against the Knights. All of those games they won handily, except Tampa Bay was 4-3. But hey, beating Tampa Bay 4-3 is equivalent to beating Edmonton 7-2. I don't know where their scoring is coming from right now, but clearly they've found it. New York Rangers, there's very little to say about this team. They're a nightmare. They've lost 2 in a row. They've lost 5. They've lost 7 of their last 8. We got the Blues on the road at minus 205. The over and under here is 5.5. And I mean, the bottom line, badass, is I can't bet a damn thing in this game.
The only thing I would be looking at here would be the puck line with St. Louis Blues. I mean, going up against Georgiev, a guy who has lost 6 of his last 7 starts. I don't know why they keep riding him. I don't know why they should just kind of stick with Henrik Lundqvist at this point. But you look at one thing and two things to mention here. Chris Kreider and Mark Stahl both coming back into the lineup. So you have to wonder if
those are superstars.
Right, and so with those guys being back in the lineup and the Rangers well out of their way in the season, you wonder, okay, are they going to be motivated to try and ruin things for a St. Louis team that still hasn't officially clinched a spot just yet, still in the race for possibly even win the Central Division title? I'm not sure, but then they counteract that with having Georgiev play. Georgiev losing 6 of the last 7 starts. I just don't see where the Rangers are worth betting. I would look at either regulation line or puck line for the Blues tonight.
Andrew, what do you think?
I like the over in this one, guys, but it worries me because I think we're seeing Binnington and Nets. But I mean, it's still St. Louis. We're still continuing to get these 5.5 numbers, and 4 of the last 5 have gone over for St. Louis. And New York, they're not really putting up goals themselves, but they're making it look pretty easy to get scored on, guys. I had a very frustrating under the other day with the Boston matchup versus New York, and I thought it was looking great. I was feeling pretty set with it, and all of a sudden, Boston starts pouring it on. You can't trust New York right now. Their defense, their goaltending, no matter who's in nets right now. I've tried to give Henrik Lundqvist so many chances to still prove to me that he is still the guy that can, keep his team alive. But that's not right. It's not true anymore. I don't think that they can trust their goaltending, nor can they trust their defense. And St. Louis is catching fire right now. And it's like you mentioned, Prez, it's not just 1 or 2 guys each night. It's actually coming from a collective group. Which is why I think this team is dangerous. As good as their goaltending has been, guys, my play on this one's going to be over 5.5 goals.
Listen, the New York Rangers to me are very similar to the Montreal Canadiens. They have nobody who can score, nobody who can play defense. The only difference here is the Montreal Canadiens have Carey Price. Swap those 2 goalies, you'd swap their records.
No way.
Yeah. Tell me the superstar. Tell me the big player on Montreal. Shea, 42-year-old Weber, Max Domi.
You know who you can say that they're more comparable to, and I've actually been saying this.
Yeah, the Toronto Blue Jays.
It's the Dallas Stars. And I know
that's a joke, dude. Come on, the Dallas Stars have a first line that is maybe the best in the league.
Yeah, I know, but look at the way that they play. They're so reliant
on
style. No, I agree.
Red card.
Stylistic wise, they are definitely more comparable with Dallas than they are the Rangers.
Okay, stylistic wise, sure, dude. 3 people dive off a diving board. One of them does 2 flips and splashes. The other does 2 flips and makes a perfect entry. Stylistic wise, they were the same.
Everyone can complain about this Montreal lineup, but the fact is, until yesterday and for most of the year,
red card. Move on. Pittsburgh hosting Nashville. Oh, Nashville needs to win this game. Nashville's still in the hunt here, boys, for that 2nd seed. And I'll tell you, man, I mean, I wouldn't want to play St. Louis when I could play Dallas, but then I wouldn't want to play Dallas either. The 2nd and that 4th seed, Winnipeg and Dallas, Winnipeg and Nashville, whichever spot they find themselves in, it's going to be a tough first round. Pittsburgh minus 130 here. The over and under is an even 6. Nashville just beat Minnesota 1-0. They put up a 0 against Winnipeg, and they put up a 1 against Pittsburgh. They've scored 2 goals in their last 3 games, and Pittsburgh, they've won 3 in a row, and they're rounding into shape, ready for the playoffs. I like the under in this game, guys. I like that I'm getting a 6 here. So yeah, I'm going to go with the under, and I think this game is going to be 3-2. And, an empty netter ends up as a push, so let's hope it doesn't happen. Alex?
I'm looking at the draw here, plus 305. Like you said, these two teams just played a few days ago. It went into a shootout. And so it got kind of that way I always like to say the rapid revenge theory. And both teams have a lot to play for. Pittsburgh now, I mean, the division seems to be wrapped up with Washington. They clinched the playoff spot last night. But they're only 2 points ahead, 2 points behind, rather, of the Islanders for the second spot in that division, which, of course, is home ice. Nashville, not only are you talking about them, holding down the second spot, they still have a outside shot at the division title and getting the number 1 spot. But like you said, drawing St. Louis or Dallas at this point doesn't seem like it would be a fun series for either team, Nashville or Winnipeg at this point. But it's still a big game here. I can see where, like I said, both teams needing points. So I lean with the draw. Hard to go against Pittsburgh at a cheap price like this at home. So also I lean toward Pittsburgh as well.
Andrew, what do you think in this game?
I think it's going to be a good game, very close game. It's tough to read here because Nashville, to me, is not in as good as a spot right now as Pittsburgh. For me, what I want to do, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did yesterday with the Montreal game, and it worked out pretty well.
Cry?
First period, under 1.5 goals. I think this one has an opportunity to really break out in the second and the third, but as far as this opening frame, I think things really start out defensively and slow. I still think Pittsburgh has to up their defense, and their goaltending has to be a lot more steady. And as we all know, if your goaltending has been a little bit shaky, it's up to your defense to help you out and get the puck out of your end. And as far as Nashville goes, they haven't really been putting up huge numbers themselves. So my pick I'm giving out with this one is first period under 1.5 goals.
A lot more steady. Listeners over the age of 40, this is a common occurrence with these young children and their lack of grammar. A lot more steady. Okay.
A lot steadier.
There you go.
I have great grammar.
Red card on the grammar.
Excellent grammar.
Yeah, I know. You do, you're like a color, or no, you do play-by-play, right? For some team no one's heard of?
Yes. For this team, actually. That's why I got the shirts.
Oh, look, that team is the Dalhousie. I'm going with Wolves.
This is a Tiger, so yeah.
Oh, it's a Tiger. Well, dude, I don't know. And who the hell's heard of the Dalhousie Tigers? Although I've been to Dalhousie. I got some action in Dalhousie once. We'll go to you first. Yeah, well, I did, guys. It was actually my only washroom soiree.
Oh, classy.
Oh, you turned down a washroom soiree, badass?
I think I would. I'm just saying. No,
it's dirty. Yeah, it's not bad hygiene. Yeah, it's play in a washroom, baby.
Look, Prez, people comment about us having shows on the weekends. We got stuff to do on the weekends. Mm-hmm. I don't care if I'm living in Halifax. We got stuff to do on the weekends, things to take care of.
Yeah. It only takes you a minute to take care of it. We could find time for a show. I just don't want to.
You can't say my...
Move on.
Yeah.
What?
He got you with that joke a couple weeks ago, and you spun it right back on him.
So I like that.
Okay. Detroit. New Jersey. Who cares?
Is this the shittiest game of the night?
Could be the game that makes us the most amount of money, too. Detroit minus 115. The over and under here is 5.5. And I mean, the bottom line for me is I like Detroit. We spoke about this, me and you, Alex, all week. The teams won 3 in a row. They're pesky as crap. They're still playing hard as hell. New Jersey has won 2 in a row, but it doesn't look like they're as into ending the season on a high note as Detroit is. Detroit's at home. Detroit minus 115. I think that might be one of the best bets of the night.
I mean, I was on them last night. I was on them a couple of nights ago against the Sharks. The thing that worries me here is the second night of back-to-back. After, like I said, they had to work their ass off to beat Buffalo. They blew 2 separate leads, ended up getting an awesome goal by Tyler Bertuzzi to win in overtime. So now you got Jonathan Bernier starting. And they have actually, they're 3-7 on the second night of back-to-backs this year. So I'm not really trying to lay a price with Detroit after making a bunch of money on them as dogs. So I would stay away from this game, but Detroit should win it.
Andrew, what do you think, dude? Or are you thinking about that awesome Friday night in Halifax where you people throw rocks at tin cans and call it fun?
To be honest, this is a pass for me, Prez. I don't really want to give out any information on it because I don't feel too strongly about any picks on this one.
Okay, fair enough. We'll go to you first, Andrew. Arizona, must win. Colorado, must win. My God, is this a monster? I mean, talk about the schedule makers. They had Columbus against that piece of shit last night. And now they have Arizona and Colorado tonight. Oh, just a beauty of a hockey game. Arizona loses this game, they're done. This game is their season, boys, and it happens to be on the road. They just beat Chicago 1-0. But guys, I mean, look at this under 5.5. Arizona, last few games, 1-0, lost 2-0, lost 2-1, 4-2, 4-1, 3-2 before that, held Anaheim to 1, held St. Louis to 1, put up 1 against Chicago. I don't. You certainly can't bet this game over the total. And I mean, Colorado defensively are outstanding. I look here, minus 160 is too big a number for me. I lean on under the total of 5.5, minus 130, but this game worries me.
I look at this one. I mean, I see that last game for Colorado against Vegas, the 4-3 finish. But like you just listed off, a lot of 3-1 games in there, a lot of 2-1 games, a lot of 3-0, 4-0 type games, which all go into the under. And like you saw with that game against Chicago for Arizona, I think we've got to go back to the old-fashioned hockey where it's playoff time and it's teams fighting for certain situations, and it's turned into lower-scoring games. A lot of times, maybe in the playoffs more so these days, you're seeing higher-scoring games. But when it comes down to trying to make the playoffs and secure your spot, teams are a lot more hesitant. I do truly believe that they are a little more hesitant to start the game, a little more nervous, a little more shaky on the puck. I mean, guys, how long was that Chicago overstreak for? Like something like 16 games or something like 80% over 25 games, and now all of a sudden they competed in a 1-0 game against Arizona. That was some great goaltending in that as well. But the past 3 games for Arizona, they weren't against great teams, but 2-1, 2-0, and 1-0. I'm with you. I mean, 11 of the last 16 between these teams have gone under the total. 4 of the last 5 on the road for Arizona have gone under the total. And both teams' goaltending has looked pretty good recently. So just with the playoff implications, that's kind of my reasoning for this under as well.
Badass, what do you think?
I'm looking at Coyotes team total under 2.5. You can find it at minus $1.20 or $1.25. 6 straight games where they've had 2 goals or fewer, 7 of the last 9. Like you guys have been saying, these are 2 teams that now they're in playoff mode already. These are playoff games essentially. They are playing tighter defense, and we're not seeing a hell of a lot of scoring from Arizona. So the only way I would look here would be that team total under. I think it's a generous price for a 2.5.
Well, we're all in a similar spot on this game. The Mighty Ducks. Not so mighty this year, playing Calgary, and I don't know what the hell has happened to this Calgary team. They've lost their last 2 games against LA and Dallas. They won their 3 before that, but this Calgary team is backing into the playoffs, the number 1 seed, if that's even possible. Anaheim is playing a hell of a lot better in the last 2 months. They're almost perfectly zigzagging, guys, and they just beat Vancouver 5-4 a couple of nights ago. Calgary minus 285 here, and the under is 6. And the bottom line is, I have been taking Calgary minus 1.5 for a while. It stopped paying off a couple of games ago, so I'm going to hold back on that bet. The over and under here is 6, and Anaheim scoring 5-4 against Vancouver, 4-3 loss to LA, 4-3 to San Jose. And they also let in a lot of goals. I think the play here is on over the total of 6 at plus 110. Badass?
This is a tough one because Anaheim has dominated Calgary for many a year. They had a long streak going. And even in the last couple of meetings, they're always playing them tough. Ducks have been playing teams within the division tough. We've been talking about that for the last week and a half now. But then you look on the flip side, like I said, Calgary not so much that they're backing into the first spot. It's kind of San Jose has fallen down and they have tumbled into them, and now they both are kind of stumbling into the playoffs. But they're pretty much going to just win the division based on the fact that San Jose just can't win a game anymore. So there's no reason for them to go full speed against anybody. Just keep guys healthy, keep things rested. So they could coast in this game. Maybe look at Anaheim because it's high price, getting a goal and a half here.
Andrew, what do you think, brother?
I think it's a shame the way that Calgary's been finishing off their season. It's something you don't want to do going into the playoffs. I think no matter how good you've been all regular season, you got to put forward a way better effort than what you've been doing. But looking at this one, there's no way that I'm going to lay any kind of price on the money line with Calgary. That's ridiculous. The best way I would look at this one as well is going to be the over. I think we've seen some decent performances from this Anaheim team over the past couple of games. Not only are we going to get support from them, scoring, I think we'll get a couple from them, but I think it's time for Calgary to wake up. I think Anaheim will be a good matchup for Calgary to finally spark things. And I think it's funny because the coaching staff is all of a sudden in panic mode for Calgary, trying to mix things up, mix the combinations of the lines. I'm more of a fan of just getting back to what you're used to. Go back to what was successful. Stop trying to change things and go back to what was working, and things will come back together. But in general, it's good to give credit to guys like, even Corey Perry, Jakob Silfverberg, Rickard Rakell. Those are guys that are actually making an impact for this Anaheim team for the first time in maybe 2 years. So, I think that this Anaheim team finally are going over the total. I don't get how they're going over the total with the guys that they have on their roster. I mean, you want to make fun of the Habs, Prez. Look at this roster here for the Ducks. It's shameful. It's a lot of younger guys as well, and a lot of really...
At least we know the names of some of the people.
Yeah, but you've got a guy like Ryan Kessler and Corey Perry that should be great. They were like Team Canada players.
I wish Kessler was traded to the Leafs at the trade deadline.
He'd be actually good for them. But anyway, I think...
dude, he would be perfect. Play alongside Matthews and Nylander and stand in front of the net, get all those... I mean, he's another Zach Hyman, right? Like, just get down deep in the corners, muck it up with everybody. I freaking love the guy. But anyway...
That's the difference about the Leafs though. I'm not even joking when I say this. Like, I'm cheering for Canadians teams come the playoffs, unless if
I cheer for every Canadian team come the playoffs, no matter who they are.
So I wish the Leafs had a couple more grinders, a couple more scrappers, because they're paying all these guys that are just like soft, like youth, like Europeans, like Nylander.
Hey, we're not here insulting Europeans. They're not soft.
Soft like Matthews, even Marner. Soft.
Oh, Matthews. I would like Matthews. You know what, Andrew?
No, I'm in your corner. I'm just telling you the truth. I know you see it when you go to the games.
I would like Matthews to have a little fire under his ass. I would like him to have a little Ryan Getzlaf, Jonathan Toews, get on my back and let me carry you to the promised land. But they're not soft, dude. They're skilled. Yeah, skilled.
Like, when I was in Boston, I saw the Leafs play the Bruins, and I saw the skill that they all have. I thought Marner is one of the most skillful Leafs.
Skillful Leafs? I think Marner with the puck is the most skilled hockey player in the league.
Yeah, but when he gets checked...
All right, let's not get too far.
No, skilled as in with the puck. He doesn't have a great shot.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a great shot.
I get you. Okay, just puck possession and movement.
His puck control and passing vision is second to none. But he has no slap shot, no snap shot, a very soft wrist shot, and he's not strong on the puck.
Exactly.
But when he's in open space, my God.
His vision is second to none. His vision is outstanding.
It's actually unbelievable. Minnesota, Vegas Knights. Andrew, we'll go to you first. Subban in net still. Minnesota, look, Minnesota still thinks they have a shot. They're 4 points back. The problem here really is Arizona and Colorado are playing against each other, so tonight ain't going to help. They want Arizona to win, obviously, but Minnesota has to win this game, and I don't think they will. Nor do the line makers. It's minus 190 to Vegas. The over and under here is 5.5. I'm really getting sick of betting under 5.5, but that's the play again. Andrew?
I'm getting sick of Vegas underperforming, and I'm getting sick of them not playing well in front of Malcolm Subban.
Well, I did call it, didn't I? I did tell you they were about to hit the skids.
You did call it for sure. And I think, there has been some mistakes defensively and from Subban, but it's just not fair to him that the second the Fleury's out of the net, they start underperforming and they can't score. Just because you're missing Pacioretty and you have a couple guys in the lineup, it's unacceptable to lose that, the ability to score. It's sad. You look at Subban's record, I doubt he'll be on this team in the next few years. Just looking at the way that they play around him and the way he plays recently. You look at this Minnesota team, guys, let's just look at their lineup. Who do they have that's dangerous? Who do they see? Besides the top line, I know, Alex, you're in Minnesota.
More guys than the Habs have.
Parise, Stahl, Ryan Donato is one of their main guys to score now. He was like a young guy from the Bruins that was like a third-line guy that sort of could score. You've got Kevin Fiala on the second line. I don't think they have great guys out there, honestly.
That's my dog Vegas barking because my girl just walked in. The proud leader of the Flying V. She can't do a Flying V episode today. A little bit hungover. But it was good for me last night. I mean, listen, alcohol is a good thing if it's your woman drinking it.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, there she is.
Little appearance.
Hello, gentlemen.
How are you doing?
I'm not inebriated. I wasn't overly.
No, you weren't. I just wanted to start with you.
All right. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Andrew's in mourning. His Habs aren't going to make the playoffs. Alex, end the show. Minnesota, Vegas. What do you think?
Minnesota's terrible. We've seen them drop every game that they've needed to win. Like I said, Vegas, they're playing poorly, but all they need is 1 point to get a playoff berth officially clinched. I think they get 2 of them tonight. I play with Vegas in regulation, minus $1.10.
He's Alex. He's Andrew. I'm the Prez. Puck time is done. Guys, have a great time next week. And when we get back, we are launching the Flying V in earnest.
Sounds good.
Specifically because it bothers the crap out of Carm.
I'll be away the following week, Prez. So I'll be talking to you a little bit while I'm away. Maybe I'll do a couple of shows. But
where are you going?
Punta Cana.
Oh, I thought people from Halifax went to Newfoundland for a vacation.
I like that. We build igloos. We build igloos and have snowball fights.
Right.
Yeah.
Punta Cana, dude. That sounds fun. Who you going with?
I can't wait. I'm going there for a wedding. Bunch of family and friends.
Oh, okay. Well, have fun. Alex and I will be here, but the weather's changing, so all is good.
Yeah.
Later, boys. Take care, everyone. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Enjoy your trip, Prez. Safe travels.
Bye.